Congratulations. I see a pregnancy in your future, divine feminine, but it will cost you the love of your life. So this dream started off so sweet, right? I mean, so sweet. And then just took a turn, and I don't even want to say took a dark turn because there's a child involved, right? So I don't want to say took a dark turn, but let's just say this dream took a sharp turn, right? Okay. So in this dream, there's a divine feminine and a divine masculine, right? And these are two who have been at separation. These are two who have been on again, off again. It's always right person, right place, just consistently wrong time, because both of these individuals just had a lot of growing and maturing and healing that they needed to do. Both of them had childhoods filled with trauma, heavy mother wounds, super heavy mother wounds, right? That they needed to heal, and that was greatly impacting how they treated one another, how divine feminine kept leaving the relationship, how divine masculine kept treating divine feminine when they were in a relationship. This was definitely a dynamic duo, right? This is definitely a divine masculine who every time they reconnected, this divine masculine was, divine feminine was always running, divine masculine was always chasing, and just like this, just nonstop, just like kind of catastrophic, right? And not that it was anything like big arguments and stuff, just because these two could not at the time see that the other individual, as well as themselves, were responding to each other based off their own childhood trauma, right? But these two somehow always kept finding their way back together. These two deeply loved each other, right? Deeply loved each other. And it was one of those situations where some years had gone by. Like, let's say you guys have this on again, off again, but then something happened. The last time something happened to where you guys have been off for years, right? Like, you guys have not spoken, been in no contact for years. And for some reason, as I'm talking, I'm hearing, like, I heard it through the grapevine, that you were doing too far. I don't even know how the words go, whatever. But I'm hearing that, like, I heard through the grapevine that you might have heard that this person has moved on. They may be in a relationship. They may be like gearing towards a marriage. They may have a family now. Like, you just heard something about this person having moved on. So, you were heartbroken, divine feminine, it hurt, but at the same time, it's one of those loves where, like, you want this person to be happy. Like, yeah, you want them to be happy with you. You want them to be with you. But one of those situations where you're like, well, I'm getting, what's that Usher song? That Usher and Summer Walker, we ain't good, but we still good. Like, I'm getting that, like, heavy, that type of dynamic where you guys have tried and it never seems to work, but the love is still there. Like, the love is never not going to be there, but it's one of those things where it's like, I just want him to be happy, even if that's not with me, right? So you guys go your separate ways, but then he comes back. Like, years later, this divine masculine comes back, and something about, like, when he comes back, you guys are both in this healed era, right? Like, you guys are both healed. You are coming as two mature adults. You guys see each other for who you truly are on the inside. And I'm getting, like, when he comes back, like in the dream, when this divine masculine came back, and even, like, if this happens to be your story, and I hope, like, if it does, you make better decisions, right? But, like, if this is your story, like, when this divine masculine came back, it was one of those, like, I'm not playing, like, let's do this. You know what I mean? Like, we've been tiptoeing around this. We've been doing this on again, off again for years. This divine masculine comes back and he's like, you're the one that I want. It's always been you. Like, it's always been you for me, right? You're the one that I want. We're not going through the dating stages. We're not doing all that. We know I know you. Like, I know you, divine feminine. And he's like, let's just get married. Let's just get married. I mean, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss it. I don't want to make any arrangements. Let's go down to the courthouse and get married. Like, what are you doing tomorrow? Type energy, Like, this man completely knows what he wants, and that is you, divine feminine. That is you. And divine feminine was single, which is what made it so beautiful. Divine feminine was single. You know what I mean? She she was so happy when he came back. Everything seemed to be working out perfectly, right? And when I say like they took no time, like let's just say that things got real hot and heavy right away. Like as soon as they saw each other, it's almost like nothing had changed. Like no time had passed. Like they had been together the whole time. So things got really like hot and heavy really quickly, right? So they're sitting there, they're talking about their relationship and they're dating and they're planning on getting married. Like they didn't run to the courthouse that day, but they did make plans to go ahead and get married, right? And then Divine Feminine finds out she's pregnant, right? She finds out, and this is one of those like medical mystery pregnancies, right? Like this is one of those, like if you've ever watched that show, I forget which channel it came on, where the women like literally went into labor only to be like, I'm not even pregnant. Like they had their cycles the whole time. They gained barely any weight. There was no indication on their, like, I used to always be like, how is that even possible? Because you would think that you would feel that there's something different about your body, but I'm not here to tell anyone how their body is or is not supposed to feel, right? But it gave one of those feels, right? So Divine Feminine finds out she's pregnant and she is ecstatic. Like she could not be happier, right? Could not be happier. Divine Masculine is ecstatic. He finally gets the family that he wants. He finally gets the woman that he wants. Everybody is happy. Now, in this dream, this Divine Masculine was in the military, right? This man, so if your person is someone who was military, but they're like overseas right now, this may be pertaining to you, right? Or someone who's in the military and may be going overseas sometime soon. Like this may be pertaining to you, right? So the reason that they didn't like jump to it and go ahead and get married right away was because this man was in the military. He literally, you know how they have those breaks where like they can take like their R&R for 2 weeks. So he literally came back to the States on his R&R for 2 weeks, spent the entire 2 weeks getting hot and heavy with Divine Feminine, and then went, back overseas. But they had plans that when he came back, when he finally got stationed back in the States, that they were going to spend the rest of their lives together, right? So Divine Feminine finds out she's pregnant, and of course, he's the first person she tells. She's so ecstatic. She's so happy. They're both so happy. She makes her first appointment and ends up finding out that she's 5 months along. And she's like, how is this even possible? I've been, my body has not changed. She's like, how could I not know this? And it turns out that she is pregnant by her ex, the guy that she was dating before Divine Masculine came back in the picture. So of course, like she has to have this very difficult, and I almost want to say, I guess it's a good thing they did, because technically in 2 weeks, they could have went down to the courthouse and got married right then. So I want to say like, it's a good thing that they did decide to wait until he came back, because he was like, he wants to make sure that like he has everything set up and everything, like total provider type energy. He wants to be there. He doesn't want to marry her and then run back overseas. Like he wants to be there, right? Even though like technically he would have been overseas while she's having this baby, but that's neither here nor there, right? So, she finds out that she's 5 months pregnant and has to have this extremely difficult conversation with this Divine Masculine. And basically he ends up being like, well, you're pregnant. I don't want to, I still love you, you're still the love of my life. But he's like, I can't do it. I don't know if I can. And it wasn't like a selfish, because some people be like, well, oh, that's just selfish. No, not really. Not really. You know what I mean? Because everyone has their, because, people be like, well, oh, men date women with children all the time. Yeah, they do. But it's different when you're going into a relationship with someone who already has children and you have that understanding from the get-go. It's not the same as dating someone who is impregnated by someone else and the child is not even here yet. So like you're wanting him to step up and be the father role and financially support and be there this entire time for the child that's, really not his. It's different, So this Divine Masculine is like, honestly, I don't think I can do it. And he's like, I wish you the best. Just know that I love you. It's all love. I'm still going to be here for you. I still want to be a part of your life, but I just can't do that level of commitment if you're carrying somebody else's. So this is the divine masculine who does not have children. Okay. He does not have children, but he wants children. And he's like, I want my family. I want the woman who's going to carry my child. He wants what he wants. Right. So Divine Feminine was so heartbroken. First of all, it was heartbreaking to see. It was like everything just came crashing down to a halt, right? And it just had, I'm not even going to say that. I was going to say something. I was going to be like, it had to be 5 months. It couldn't be like 12 weeks, right? But even with all this Roe versus Wade, not that, because this definitely gave me the feel of, whatever we have going on right now with women's productive rights and all that, this definitely gave the feel of this woman would have made some alternative choices because what she really wanted was her divine masculine. And I hate to say that because a child is a blessing. Regardless, I believe that all children are blessings. So keeping it in relation to this children's theme, I wholeheartedly believe that all children are blessings, but we know that when we have children under the right circumstances and with the right person, that blessing just magnifies, right? Like it multiplies, right? So I could feel Divine Feminine's heart breaking because literally it was like the universe handed her and was handing her everything that she wanted, right? Only for it all to come to an abrupt end. So let me just say this. I'm not telling anybody what to do. Whether you are pro-life or pro-choice, your choices, your decisions are your own because you are the one that has to live with them at the end of the day, right? But what I will say is that especially with this whole women's reproductive rights being kind of not even women's rights anymore, what I will say is that Divine Feminines, please, 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 please be so careful and so cautious and so protective of your womb, right? Like I know a lot of people were like, oh, abstinence is so hard. It's really not. It's really not. Keeping it closed it's a lot easier than doing the opposite. I'll tell you that. It is a lot easier than doing the opposite. So please practice some self-restraint, right? Just because you are in a relationship with someone does not mean that relationship has to get physical. It does not mean that relationship has to get physical. Take your time and get to know someone. As a matter of fact, I'm a firm believer, and this might just be because my parents were military and they were overseas a lot. So we spent a lot of time growing up with our grandparents. So it may just be because I grew up in a more old-fashioned household. But if you don't see, if the person that you're dating, right, you don't see yourself wanting to spend the rest of your life with them. If the person that you're dating, you don't see yourself wanting to have children with them. Like if the person that you're dating, you were to either impregnate if you're a divine masculine or get impregnated by if you're a divine feminine. If finding out you're pregnant by the person that you're with either brings you fear, discomfort, anger, if it brings you anything other than happiness and complete bliss, why are you even sexually entertaining this person? Why are you guys partaking in the acts that produce life if this is not someone that you want to produce life or someone that you even want to spend your life with? And I know people are like, oh, well, I have needs. You need to sit down. Okay. That's what Spirit says. Actually, that's not Spirit, that's me. But I'm just going to code it and say that Spirit says, because I feel like maybe then some people will listen. Spirit says the only thing you need to do is sit down and go work on yourself. Go heal yourself. I'm getting like whenever you get that urge, go for a run. Go for a run. Transmute that energy. And if you go for a run and you still feeling a little hot and heavy, you didn't run far enough, you didn't run long enough, run some more. Transmute that energy. Matter of fact, use some of that sexual energy to put into some of your divination work, right? But transmute that energy. But just be careful, because I'm telling you, like, this is one of those things where it's such a difficult choice to make, because on the one end, I get it. You know what I mean? Because your person was gone, or the person that you feel is your person was gone. And you heard through the grapevine that person had moved on. They were in, and they may even have been in a relationship, but I'm telling you, like, that relationship didn't work. And you know why? Because she was not you, right? So that relationship didn't work. So it's one of those things where it's like, I never really advocate telling people to wait. You know what I mean? Because I feel like a lot of time the people who are waiting, the person that you're waiting for really isn't even your person. Like, you really have to like start taking signs from the universe, or asking your ancestors, or praying to your angels, your spirit guides, whoever it is, whatever your spiritual beliefs are, right? You have to pray and get answers first, because a lot of times the people who are sitting around waiting and that person never comes back, it's because that was never even your person. You were sitting around waiting on somebody else's person, and spirit is not going to, the universe is not going to deliver you somebody else's person. So yeah, you may have waited and waste time. But if the universe had shown you, and be careful about that, because sometimes we want something so bad, especially when it comes to people. Sometimes we want someone so bad that we think we're seeing signs that are not there, right? So as always, like, with everything, proceed with caution. With everything in life, proceed with caution, right? But it's one of those kind of gray areas where it's like, do you sit back and do you wait, or do you move on and go forward with your life? But what I will say is that just work on you. The best thing that you can do is work on you, because if you focus on yourself, if you go after, like I said in my previous video, because I don't know, it depends on the length of the video of how long it takes them to upload. So they may end up uploading out of order. So, for some of you, like the whole, the video about the dream of the attack from the entity was really pertaining to like your boss and specifically your job, was really about the universe telling you that you're fighting a battle, first, that's not yours. And two, you're fighting a battle for someone in a place that you're not even supposed to be. Because the reason you're so unhappy is because you're not following your soul urge. Like, please, people love to talk about the natal chart. Very important to look into your natal chart, but also numerology. Like, look into your life path number, your soul expression, not your soul, your expression number, and your soul urge. Because if whatever career you're in does not align with whatever your soul urge number is, and if you're very, very unhappy, specifically when it comes to your career, it's because you're not following your divine destined path, right? So focus on that, right? Focus on that. If you're someone who's been wanting to change your careers, wanting to go back to school, wanting to maybe go for a promotion, whatever you've been wanting to do, work on that. Just because, you know, you may choose to be single, or spirit may choose to keep you single, doesn't mean like you should not be using this time to sit around and mope and be lonely. If you focus on the fact that you're lonely, if you focus on the fact that I don't have my person yet, it's going to drive you or influence you to make bad decisions. And it's going to influence you to rush into things with anyone who pays you any kind of attention, because you're so in that energy of lack, right? And in that energy of being lonely, right? Because remember, spirit will send you tests. Spirit will send you tests, because we have free will, and it's up to you to pass the test. So you can't blame spirit if you're like, oh, this person came into my life and they weren't the one, and you knew he was coming back. Why did you let that happen? No, why did you let that happen? You have free will. So don't focus on the fact that you're lonely. If you're lonely right now, set yourself a goal. Whether it be to lose weight, whether it be to go back to school, whether it be to go for that promotion, whether it be to transform something, whether it be to buy that house, whether it's to clean out the house, let's say declutter the house that you have now, whether it is to get rid of some things, give yourself a project, something that's going to enhance you, something that's going to heal you, something that's going to level you up. Give yourself a project that you can focus on, so that you're not so focused on the fact that you're lonely right now. And as spirit sees you working on yourself, spirit's going to continue to do things that cause that. Because matter of fact, like, if this is your person, If you're someone and you know without a shadow of a doubt, this is like a telltale sign. If this truly is your person, if you are someone and you are spiritually working on yourself and doing things to heal that trauma and level up and improve yourself, then if that is your true divine counterpart, it will reflect in them as well. And they will go through something where all of a sudden they feel the need to heal and to start doing things that they need to do to improve themselves, and they will feel the need to start accomplishing things that they've always wanted to accomplish. So as you're starting to focus more on you, and you see that this person is doing things to focus on them at the same time, that'll be one of your indicators that this is your true divine counterpart. But if you find yourself growing and healing and learning and becoming a better version of yourself, meanwhile the person that you believe is your divine counterpart is still going through all type of traumas and downfalls and hardships, that's because it's not your person. Because if it truly was, then that energy would be reflected on both ends. That is a telltale sign that is not your person. If they're continuing to go through karma while you're getting blessings, that is not your person, right? But like I said, if you're someone who you truly believe that is your person, then the best way to bring that person into you is to focus on you, especially as a divine feminine being in your receiving energy. The best way to call your divine masculine in is to focus solely on yourself, right? So please, divine feminines, protect your wombs at all costs. Okay. I'm hearing like, do not let these charmers and these slick talkers do not. And it's okay if you want to distract yourself by going on dates. That's fine. Keep it casual. Don't go to his house. There's no reason he should be coming to yours. That just keep it all the way casual. And if you're the type of divine feminine where you fall in love quickly, like you're the type of person that you meet someone and at the end of the first date, you're already head over heels in love, probably casually dating is not for you. It is not in your cards, right? But if you're someone who knows how to put up boundaries and keep it casual, it's okay to date, to kind of put yourself back out there as a way of working on how you're going to re-enter into the relationship realm. But just make sure you are not doing anything physical, because if you are someone, right, where you know that your divine counterpart is out there and you know exactly who this person is, your divine counterpart is coming back. They're coming back to give you the love and the life that you always wanted, but you have to make sure that you are in the right space to receive it. Okay. That is the message for today. This is the last one for today. Like I said, I don't know what order these are going to upload in, because, the longer the video, the longer it takes to upload into YouTube. But I am officially drained, and that second video has me so hungry. So I'm going to, I don't have any I don't even have any spaghetti here right now, but I am like so hungry for some spaghetti right now. So I'm either going to go to the store or find somewhere where I can get some pasta, because I am extremely hungry after doing that last video. But I really hope this one resonates. And if it does, I really hope that you take heed. Okay. As always, thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you to my subscribers who have been rocking with me all this time. I promise y'all I'm going to do better about being more consistent with uploading content, right? But that's the message for today. This is it for today. I am completely drained, and hopefully I will be back soon, okay? Bye.